Alrighty, what is going on, Pats Nation? You guys already know who it is. Patriots Global here, back with another video. And in this one, by the title, you can tell we have a very special video, something that I know you guys have really been pounding for. And, this offseason already feels a little bit weird. You guys know I love free agency, and I'm going to be touching on free agency a ton. Even before we start, we're about a month away now, a little less than a month away from the start of the new league year, which is absolutely insane. And I feel like I'm just hearing everybody talk about the draft. I've heard nobody talk about free agency. And you guys yourselves have said Patriots Global gonna drop a mock draft here soon. And I was like, usually we're focusing on free agents and that period of time during this time period, but you guys are demanding a mock draft right now. So I thought I would drop my New England Patriots way too early mock draft. Now, what does way too early mean? It essentially means look, the East-West Shrine Bowl just ended. The Senior Bowl just ended. And those are very important for players in the sense of heading into the draft and their status either rising or falling and kind of getting a good feel on these players. But the biggest thing that really helps to rise or drop a player's stock is the combine. And the combine has not happened yet. That's March. So it's going to happen next month. And not to mention, draft picks are not completely confirmed. We know a good portion of teams' draft picks, but comp picks, of course, every single year are a very big part in the draft and for each team. We haven't exactly gotten those comp picks yet. Now, we do have projected comp picks, which we will talk about here when I bring up the Patriots draft picks here, but nothing is completely confirmed because the official draft comp pick formula has not been dropped here yet. So when that does, we'll get a little bit better of an idea. And again, the players that we do look into in today's mock draft, some might not be there a month from now. Some might fall, some might rise. So just know when this was posted so that you don't flame me in the comments being like, he just ran like a 4.2 at the combine. What do you mean he's not a first round pick? So let's just put that out there. Without further ado, let's roll that Patriots Global intro. Righty, guys. So I got PFF's mock draft simulator pulled up here. Now, I'd assume you guys would like the format set up like this just because it's a bigger screen. Unfortunately, I can't do full screen here for the simulator while sharing my screen. Software just doesn't let us do that for some reason. I could still put myself up on here on the screen too. What format do you guys like? Because I would assume you guys like the one where it's bigger. But I know, some of you guys also like to see on screen. So you guys let me know, what format do you like better? And that's the format that I'll roll throughout the rest of this offseason when it comes to these mock drafts. But for this one, we're just going to stick with this just because this is what we rolled with last year and there was no complaints. But to look over the Patriots' current projected draft picks, here you can even see we have pick 1, 14th overall, round 2, 46 overall, round 3, 76. This is going to be from Carolina. Round 4, this was originally from the Rams. This was from the Sony Michel trade. We also have another 4th round pick, which is our original. Another 4th round pick, which is a comp pick, or a projected comp pick, rather. We don't have a 5th round pick this year, but Patriots don't really care about 5th round picks. 6th round pick, this was from Carolina. 6th round pick here from Las Vegas. That was from Stidham. We have our own 6th round pick. We have a projected 6th round pick and then a projected 7th round pick. So these are essentially the picks we're looking at right now. When you hear projected comp pick, just know that things in that area could change. But when it comes to these picks from Carolina or Los Angeles or Vegas, those are the Patriots picks. Now, the Patriots in general have, let me pull this up real quick. The Patriots have a total of, 8 picks? Yes, 8 total picks in 2023. Half of these 8 picks were actually acquired in trades from the last couple of years. That's something the Patriots love to do. They love to trade down, and they won't necessarily pick up picks for that year, but they'll pick up picks for the following year. And that's why we're looking at so many picks here for the Patriots in 2023. And spoiler alert, 2024, the Patriots are actually supposed to have a lot of comp picks here too. And that's before they even trade down in this year's draft to potentially pick up more. So just something to remember here as we start this mock draft. Maybe we should adjust the speed a little bit because I would like to see in general who goes off the board without my eyes flaring. And in this mock draft too, guys, we're not going to make any trades, okay? This is going to be a no trade mock draft. We're going to be doing trades where the Patriots trade down in the first round, Patriots don't trade at all, maybe Patriots trade up. We're going to do multiple different mock drafts throughout this offseason, but in this one we're just going to stay pat with the picks that we have. I can guarantee you though, I don't see the Patriots using all of these picks in general. And Paris Johnson goes right before to our in-division rival, the New York Jets. Now, this is not surprising. I've done some mock drafts here on my own just to prepare for the offseason and videos and just, get familiar with the guys. And it seems like in a lot of these mock drafts, the Jets, right before the Patriots, always go with one of the tackles that we would like. Brian Branch off the board. That's a guy who the Patriots could potentially look on here at 14. I think that'd be an excellent pick if you're looking past Devin McCourty and just safety help in general. But I kind of like the way this board fell for the Patriots. Now, of course, you have Paris Johnson off the board, but it gives the Patriots a lot of opportunities here with guys that they could still take. You have Peter Skoronski still here. I'm not a big fan of taking a wide receiver in the first, especially after taking Tyquan in the second just last year. And there's still question marks on, can the Patriots truly develop a wide receiver? I'm not big on going on wide receiver in the first. I'm not big on going wide receiver super early, but especially not in the first. Broderick Jones here. Miles Murphy would be another good pick. I'm hearing rumors that the Patriots could potentially take an edge defender fairly early in the draft, despite having, Judon and Uche both signed for next year. Jackson Smith and Najigba, I actually like him for the Patriots. I think that he'd be really good. He's a super, super reliable target, does not drop passes. If you lose Jacoby Myers, that's a guy you would like there, but at 14, definitely not. Joey Porter, Patriots don't draft Penn State, so let's just get that out of there. Yeah, look, I'm scrolling down here as if I'm not going to take a tackle. I want to go here first, actually, and just select tackle so you guys can see who on the offensive tackle board is actually there. Peter Skoronski there. My only thing about Peter Skoronski is he's definitely top 5 for me when it comes to tackles here for the New England Patriots on my Patriots top 100. The thing about Peter Skoronski, he's an undersized tackle, and it depends on who you ask. Some have him listed as a tackle. Some have him listed as a guard, and the Patriots kind of tried that with Isaiah Wynn. I'm not necessarily against taking a tackle that is a little bit smaller here. But when you already have a guy like Broderick Jones still sitting there who's just perfect for what you want to do, why would you not take him? And the Patriots could have multiple good tackles left on the board at 14, or they might be sitting at a place where you're either pushing for a later first-round pick to a second-round pick in a tackle, or you only have one of these guys. Because Broderick Jones is climbing up draft boards, and in a lot of mock drafts that I'm seeing, and even doing in mock draft simulators, I'm seeing Broderick Jones already gone. So there's definitely a world in which Broderick Jones is gone. Also, for our luck, the New York Jets are going to know we want Broderick Jones, so they'll probably take him right before us because that's just the New York Jets. But as you can see here, he put up a PFF grade in 2020 of 90.3, 78.8 in 2021, and 78.2 in 2022. Throughout that 3-year span, he has only allowed a total of 2 sacks. Absolutely absurd. This man does not let his quarterback get sacked. And why is that? That's because he's a very, very, very good pass blocking left tackle. Now, not much versatility there. In 2020, he played 25 snaps at right tackle, but if you draft him, he's your left tackle. That's the purpose you need. And I like the Patriots drafting a left tackle over right tackle just because of the money change that you're going to get. Left tackles are a more premium position than right tackle. That's just a known thing. left tackles are going to get paid more than right tackles. So if you can get a long-term left tackle here on a rookie deal and get that fifth-year option, so essentially have a starting caliber franchise tackle for the next 5 years under that low-end contract, I think that pans out really well for you and what you can do for the future. That's like drafting a quarterback and getting him on a rookie contract for 5 years, or now even with wide receivers, drafting a receiver in the first and getting him on a rookie contract for 5 years. So, like I said, though, the thing here about Broderick Jones, he's mainly going to be a pass blocking tackle. That's perfectly fine. Mac Jones needs to be kept upright. When Mac Jones has a clean pocket, his passer rating, don't exactly remember what the number is off the top of my head, but he had an elite passer rating when in a clean pocket, versus when he didn't have a clean pocket, it dropped below a 50 overall passer rating. So a massive difference there. Not a bad run blocker. Obviously 71.7, that's still a good grade. The thing is, if you're looking for a more consistent tackle, Paris Johnson is your guy. Paris Johnson obviously isn't here at the moment, but Paris Johnson is the overall better tackle just when it comes to a more average run blocking and pass blocking grade. But if you're looking for a guy who's going to come in and just be an absolute wrecking ball, just an elite pass protector for Mac Jones, and still a good run blocker, Broderick Jones is obviously your guy. Really like Broderick Jones. So like I said, to me, there's not a lot of conversation here. I'm going Broderick Jones, and everyone's going to be like, oh, of course, another mock draft with Broderick Jones in the first. But this is how it went. If Paris Johnson was there, I would have had the discussion there for Paris Johnson. But man, Broderick Jones, like if he fits, he fits. So let's see who's going down here. I should have brought water with me. I do not. So let's see who goes off the board. Emmanuel Forbes goes off the board at 41. Now, honestly, I'm making a prediction here, and we'll see how he performs at the combine. I love Emmanuel Forbes. This man is a pick six machine. This guy gets more touchdowns than the Patriots had all season long, or at least passing touchdowns. So I love Emmanuel Forbes. I've mocked him to the Patriots in the past. I would do it again. But let me tell you this here first, and you'll probably hear it here first. It would not surprise me if Emmanuel Forbes gets taken on the back end of the first round. I think that that's possible. I think that if he performs well in the combine and stock goes up, it's only going to make that prediction more accurate. We saw somebody like Eric Stokes, who was the second to third round pick, go at the back end of the first by the Green Bay Packers last year, I think. Last year, the year before, but I'm pretty sure it was last year. And I can see the same thing happening there with Emmanuel Forbes. But Patriots take tackle here. I think you have to look on defense. Oh, my God. But Dawand Jones is sitting here at tackle for the Patriots. I love Dawand Jones. I'm not going to lie to you. If this ever loads, you can see some of his grades here. He's only getting better each and every single year, and his arm length is insane. And the thing too I love about Dawand Jones is, and he honestly very well might not be here in the second. Let's see how he performs at the combine, but he has a massive arm length to the point where he very well could be a first round pick, especially if tackles are flying off the board. Allowed 3 sacks throughout his entire career, but here you can see he's a right tackle. Now, he still has to be developed a little bit more. He hasn't played as long as some of these other tackles for sure, but the Patriots just get their franchise left tackle. You can get your franchise right tackle here now too, but I mean, I'd like to think that they do end up signing a guy in free agency and then also drafting a guy. You get your right tackle in free agency, you draft your guy at left tackle, which we did here at Broderick Jones, but I mean, think about it. If the Patriots draft their starting right tackle and left tackle here, and they both, let's say, pan out, well, that's massive money you're saving there on the offensive line. You could go out in free agency this year and go absolutely ham in buying or trading for a true wide receiver one, getting a real cornerback, and hit it on some of your actual true genuine needs. And you're not really going to have to hit some big money in free agency on your offensive line. You just hit a little bit of money on just some of those rotational and backup pieces, such as just even re-signing Yanni Kajust. So this is definitely a possibility for me right now. I don't mind it at all, but I do want to look at some secondary options here too. See, I like Sidney Brown. I like Sidney Brown, the safety here. The thing about Sidney Brown, though, is Sidney Brown is more of a box safety. He really never played deep in his entire career. At that point, resign Jabril Peppers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need to draft a guy in the second that's mainly going to be a box safety. That's kind of just going to be your Jabril Pepper, Kyle Duggar role. You need a guy who's going to be able to play deep. So I don't love Sidney Jones here for the Patriots, just in the sense of what they need. Let's just do this smart and look up the position. Because I'm assuming Devin McCourty retires here. This is what I'm thinking. If you saw my last video, you would know the Patriots that I think they'll re-sign and let go, and who I think retires ultimately. That's a free agent for the Patriots this year. And I do have Devin McCourty retiring. So if that's the case, they need a guy in the secondary. And that guy's Jordan Battle. Jordan Battle is a deep safety from Alabama. It makes too much sense for the Patriots. But again, he has an ADP of 79 with a rank of 74. You don't take him at 46. That's a push unless he ends up rising. So I like him more in the third as long as we don't lose him. So what about corners? Because I feel like all the corners I really like are going to be taken off. And people are going to see Keely Ringo here and say, global, take Keely Ringo. And I like Ringo. I think it's a lot of potential, but I think Keely Ringo's either going to be a cornerback that booms or busts, and there's no in between. This guy has a lot of development to still do, but he's the freakiest athlete in this entire draft, but very, very, very inconsistent, especially with tackling. So, like I said, you're either going to get a guy who booms it out of the park, and this is your CB1, or you're going to get a guy who becomes a Jawan Williams at that point. And I just don't love the Patriots taking a chance. We could go another cornerback here with Jalen Jones here. Not a huge fan. I wish they looked at first look here. 6'2", though, 205 pounds, could essentially be that Patriots outside cornerback. He's gotten better as each year has progressed, but I still don't love him. I think he's someone who's honestly he's gonna drop. He's not a second round pick. He's honestly still a third to fourth, honestly. Cam Smith. This is tough because I think that we could potentially still get a corner in the third. Let's see if my guy by chance is still here at the wide receiver position. I don't love the Patriots going receiver in the second, but if my guy is here, Keishawn Butte is there. I like him. But do I like him enough to draft him here? I don't think I like him enough to draft him there. I'm just a big fan of the Patriots have a lot of great number 2, number 3, number 4 receivers. You have to get a number 1, and this isn't a good wide receiver class. I feel like a lot of these guys are first round picks this year because of the lack of depth. I really don't know how many receivers in this draft are going to come out and be a true wide receiver one for a franchise. I think that they're just their stock has been risen because it's just not this isn't a good wide receiver class. At that point, if the Patriots want a real number 1 wide receiver, which they've proven in the past, whenever they wanted a real number 1 wide receiver, they've just traded for one. So I don't like them going with a wide receiver high here. And I feel like I got to stick with my logic there. And it really is looking like I might potentially take a tackle. Could they go edge is my thought. And I think they could because of how much they are valuing pass rush. And it makes it really tough. Because I've been a fan of this cat as I've gotten more and more into my process. But he plays a little bit more in the interior too. This is tough, but you know what? Hold up. Can I just go back to all? There we go. I feel like you look at DeJuan Jones and the Patriots get both of their tackles, but would they like to go with as much of a rookie offensive line as they have? Hmm. This is a real thought process for me here, but you know what? The Patriots' offensive line was the biggest issue last year. I'm going DeJuan Jones here. We're going back to back tackles. The Patriots, for the next 4 years at least, have their guys locked up at tackle, one of the most important positions. You keep Mac Jones upright, you keep Mac Jones safe. And like I said, Mac Jones in a clean pocket was an elite quarterback according to his rankings and his passer rating. So why not just keep the guy safe and give him time to get to his receivers? Even if you don't have a wide receiver one, he's been proven with the company he's been able to have to get the job done when the pocket was clean. We're in the third round here now, and this is where I want to look at safeties. For those of you who are going to say, "Oh, Patriots global offensive line in the first 2 rounds," are you kidding me? I think there's an actual world in which the Patriots genuinely do so, and I've actually heard NFL experts say the exact same thing. Um, all battles still be there. And Jordan Battle unfortunately goes. Keely Ringo goes a few rounds before. Keely Ringo is someone I would take in the third. I just don't like the first or second. And of course, Josh McDaniels takes him from us. Um, I do like JL Skinner a little bit here. He could be a good Patriot. Not a great run defender, but just below average. They can work on that with him. He's a really, 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 really good coverage safety, though. And that's what the Patriots need. They have a really good defensive line and a good first point of attack that I do feel pretty confident that they could that they'll still be fine in the run game even if he doesn't play. And the thing here with Skinner is that I'm not even going to be playing him close to the line of scrimmage, and he's very, very versatile. You've seen him. He's played snaps on the D line. He's played snaps at slot. He's played some snaps at corner, box, deep. He's mainly a box safety, but he has experience everywhere, and the Patriots could play him as a deep safety. He's really good instinctual too. So again, I'm not as worried with that um, run defensive grade because I think that they will work on that with him. And again, he's not going to be the first or even second point of attack in the run game, so he's kind of going to be that last resort. So I'm okay with that, and I actually really like what he's able to bring. It's going to give me some statistics. Can even look at some of the pros here. He's long. He's a high cut safety. I don't think I even told you guys his length. 220 pounds, 6'4". That is an ideal height, especially because, again, if the Patriots need him to play cornerback, he's had experience there. Now you have your large corner also if you need, let's say, a large cornerback for a specific game. Short area burst is exactly what you want. Can track down ball carriers in space. Again, as a free safety, that's what you want to hear. Sticks his nose in it. He's a competitor, wants to make plays. Again, all the things you want to hear from a safety. I just love Jordan Battle specifically for the Patriots. Coming from Alabama, a true deep safety, but he's already gone, and JL Skinner would probably be my next guy for the Pats. So I actually really like that here in the third round. Moving on to the fourth, I think we have 3 picks here. So right now we went offensive tackle, safety. Might have to speed this up a little bit because I think now it's a little too slow. All right, there we go. And now I kind of want to look at corners and edge defenders mostly. But let's just see how the board has fallen here. I know the Patriots have a lot of fourth-round picks. I don't think they're going to necessarily draft a linebacker, or excuse me, not a linebacker, but a running back high. I don't think they need to draft a running back high. You do still have your guys from last year. You do also have to get implemented, and I do think that there's a world in which they do still re-sign um, Damian Harris or just a free agent in general. So I could see them maybe in like the 6th round just taking a flyer on a running back maybe. So here I'm not really looking to do that. But let's look. We're probably looking more at edge defender here with our first 4th round pick, which I don't mind. Oops. So 2 guys. Oh, my bad, guys. Had to sneeze a little there for a second. But 2 guys I kind of want to look into here real quick would be Zach Harrison and Byron Young. Only thing about Byron Young that I did want to point out here is that he's someone who doesn't have a lot of experience. He's still very raw, and he hasn't exactly performed as well as I would like. But I mean, for only playing 2 years, and he's put up 7 sacks in 2021, 9 last year. I don't hate it. 6'3", 245 pounds. A little bit on the lighter side. Let's look at Zach Harrison here. Ohio State has always been known for having great edge defenders and just defensive players in general. This is a guy, though, I really like for the Patriots. Will he still be here? I think it's a little bit of a push, but he's here on ours. So a guy that is an excellent run defender, a guy who's an excellent pass rusher also. The Patriots really need a guy outside of just Matthew Judon who can play not just the pass, but can also play the run. And Josh Uche has finally emerged throughout the second half of 2022 as a great pass rusher, but him against the run still isn't great. The Patriots, again, need an edge defender who they can rely on and contain their side of the field, especially with mobile quarterbacks who we're seeing more and more of, and the Patriots will even see next year more and more of, including Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes. So this is a guy that can come in and be clutch for the Patriots right away. As you can see, an 85.3 overall pass rush grade, 78.4 run defensive grade. He isn't someone who might be as huge on sacks as, let's say, some other players in here might be, but at the end of the day, Deatrich Wise isn't a huge sack guy also, but he's very consistent as a pass rusher, grading just below Matthew Judon. And he's just going to be an overall more consistent player. As you can see, 24 hurries last year, 4 batted passes. As long as you're making plays, that's really all that matters. So I really like this for the Patriots. Josh Uche obviously being a free agent at the end of the season, New England could have to look at finding a new guy opposite of Matthew Judon, who only has 2 years left on his contract also. So Zach Harrison here for our first 4th round pick. We're on the clock here again. Again, like I said, 3 4th round picks. So we're not going Penn State. I like to potentially look at a linebacker here in the 4th. I think that's very realistic for the Patriots to get. And potentially a tight end too, I would like. So let's look at the tight ends. Actually really, really like Josh Wile here, but I have another guy in this draft too who let me see. The thing is here, will he still be here by our next pick? Because this really is not exactly, but around the area in which he would go. Look at the line, or excuse me, yeah, the linebackers after this. But I like the idea of the Patriots selecting a tight end and more of the mid round, someone they can develop. His yards per route run are below average, not good at all. 1.11 yards per route run here, but very consistent in the pass game when he does get the opportunity. Only a 3% drop rate. Very, very reliable. And that's what the Patriots like in their tight ends. You know, a guy who might not be super fast, might not have a high yards per route run statistic, but as long as they can be reliable and contribute in the running game also and provide quality blocks, that's really what they rely on the most. The only thing I don't like about him is that his contested catch rate is only 28.6%. That's well below average. And as a tight end, if the Patriots are going to get him involved, he's going to need to do better as a contested catch tight end. You look at the Patriots tight ends that have succeeded here, whether that was Aaron Hernandez, Rob Gronkowski, or even Hunter Henry. Those are all contested catch guys. So he would really need to improve that. That's the only thing that really concerns me about him, though. Well above average there, though, for a run blocking grade, 69.5. You look at some of his statistics here. Nothing great. 32 receptions on 51 targets, 326 yards. He really averages about 300 yards per season. And you look at these numbers, not terrible. 10.2 yards per reception this past year, 12.7 the year before, and 12.6 the year prior to that. 6 touchdowns 2020, the same at 2021, and 3 in 2022. He wouldn't need to be a starter for the Patriots straight off the bat anyway. And honestly, you hope that they would extend Hunter Henry so he would only have to be a tight end too and kind of more of a depth piece and maybe come in at some points, certain packages, or just kind of be an extra blocker there for the Patriots, which is where I think he will succeed the most. So I actually really like this for the Patriots. He's played in a majority of different packages offensively, played in different spots on the field, and didn't just play as an inline tight end. So I like that. And I said I wanted to look at linebackers here because we might be able. What's our next pick in the 4th round? 135. So he could probably still be there at 135 for us to get him on our next 4th. So if we can find a good player that we just are too scared won't be there by that next pick. It's going to be tight end, so isn't it? Henry To'oTo'o. This is a really good potential pick here for the Patriots where he's at. I've done a little bit here on Henry To'oTo'o. 6'2", 228 pounds. You like him to be a little bit bigger. I think he hasn't been projected to the Patriots as much as I thought. Not a great pass rusher here. Decent coverage grade. It's still above average. He's mainly going to be a run defender, though, for New England. He's your New England linebacker. That's what they like. I think that this is a top 10 linebacker in this class, ultimately. I don't love the linebacker class this year. I can't say it's anything spectacular, but it is still a decent class. And this is a guy like, obviously, when you come from Alabama, the potential always is risen for Bill Belichick. Played a lot of defensive snaps, played a lot of coverage snaps too, but also played a lot of run defensive snaps also, but mainly played a lot in coverage. That's just the way that Alabama decided to play, but he graded best as a run defender. Coming into New England, that's what you're going to be utilized as, and I really like him as a middle linebacker here also. The Patriots do need help in that area. You can't just rely on Juwan Bentley. We've seen him get injured a few times even this past year, and kind of that difference that it made when he was gone. He's going to be a free agent at the end of 2023. You'd like to think the Patriots resign him, but if they don't, you have to think in the future. So I like Henry To'oTo'o here for the Patriots. Patriots get a linebacker that I think they can work on and develop. And this is where I would like to take the tight end. God willing, he doesn't get selected. And he didn't. And this is exactly where I would like to take him. That's perfect. We don't have a 5th round pick, so we're moving on to the 6th. This is kind of where you're just taking flyers on guys at this point. Come on. PFF has been glitching a lot lately. And this is where I would look at running back, potentially a wide receiver. I'm realizing we didn't take corner here, but like I said, my overall thought process was if the Patriots take 2 tackles back to back, then you can go out and get a cornerback, a true number 1 cornerback in free agency or trade for one at that point because you're not spending that big end money on tackles. But look at corners. I also want to take an interior offensive lineman too. Patriots need depth there. What pick are we at? 284. So it's going to be a little too soon for Jay Ward. Yeah, let's not go Jay Ward just yet. I'm thinking more running back here. And I've looked at Kenny McClintish in the past as a guy that I do like pretty good size too compared to what we've seen in the past. At least for Patriots running backs, at least we're used to, 5-foot guys, but 6'1", 210 pounds coming from Georgia. Patriots have picked in that tree before. He's graded out really, really well the last few seasons, even an elite grade the last 2 seasons. He's a guy that can help you out as a running back, but he's also a guy that can help you out even in the passing game. I think he's a very versatile guy. I'd like for the Patriots to look at a real third down running back, and I think that's something I'm going to look more into in my next mock draft. But I really think that they have that guy in Pierre Strong. I think that that's going to be their next pass-catching running back, and I think that's mainly why he set out this year was to learn the ropes and come and contribute for 2023. And I think that that's a guy that people are really not valuing enough, again, in Pierre Strong. But this is a guy that I really like if Damian Harris does leave to help us out as a rotational guy. Can't leave it all on Ramondre, and I think we'll see even better of Ramondre when he's not utilized as the Patriots' really only offensive weapon here. But you can see 151 rush attempts last year, 824 yards, averaging 5.5 yards per carry. He has averaged at least 5 yards per carry in his entire career. 5.3 in 2020, 5.7 in 2021, 5.5 just this past year. This guy is an absolute wrecking ball. You're averaging at least half a first down per rush attempt. Not to mention that on the goal line, he's a guy that can absolutely punch it in. Even in the receiving game, 42 receptions on 49 targets, 509 receiving yards last year. Like I said, this is a do-it-all type of guy. Very fast off of the line. The Patriots love those guys. This is a guy I honestly just really, really like for New England, especially with his size also. So Kenny McClintish, I think that that's a really good pick here in the 6th round for the Patriots. A guy that you don't really have to, keep because he was a higher end round draft pick. It's just a 6th round pick. So if things just end up not working out, okay, you can kick him to the curb. All right. And the Patriots already drafted a quarterback last year, so in Bailey Zappi, so I don't think they're going to need to do it again. I said I did want to look at interior. And actually, I have looked in to Ricky Stromberg in the past, or Stromberg, excuse me. This is a guy that I actually really like for New England too. And as a 6th round pick, like this is where New England grabs these guys. This is where you get, maybe a late round tackle, which I don't really think we need. We drafted 2 on our first 2 picks, but you look at center, you look at guard. New England needs depth there. This is where they would look for that. 6'4", 318 pounds, a pretty decent size there for a center. This is a guy that can also play a little bit of guard, but is mainly going to be a center. He hasn't had a lot of experience playing at guard, but he's had at least a little bit of a chance playing at guard there. And I think that New England could convert him there easily if they really wanted to, but he's mainly going to be a center. David Andrews has had a lot of issues over the last couple of years staying healthy, and it's sad, but it's true. And I think within a couple of years, max, we're looking at David Andrews retiring, and the Patriots are going to need to find that guy sooner rather than later. And I love Stromberg to come in here, learn from David Andrews, and kind of learn those ropes and potentially take over one day He's been really, really good at it. He's only allowed 4 sacks throughout his entire career. And this past year was his best year in which he got the most snaps that he's played in his entire collegiate career. And he allowed 0 sacks, 0 quarterback hits, and only 11 hurries. This guy's an absolute beast. He's a little bit better of a run blocker, but that's kind of what the Patriots have now in David Andrews. Andrews is a little bit better of a blocking center than he is a pass rusher. But even here with Stromberg, you're going to get a guy who's a very good pass blocking center, but is going to excel when it comes to being a run blocking center or guard, whatever the Patriots decide to use him as. And we know that the Patriots love to run up the gut a lot. So it's going to be really important that they find someone who could be a good lead blocking center. And I think they get that here. All right, next pick here. I like to look again at secondary. They're good at just developing these guys in the secondary late on. Not a whole lot of guys there, though. The one thing about cornerback is that it's definitely better early to mid than it is late. So we got a corner. I'd also like to add safety there too. And the thing too is like with corner and safety, it's very interchangeable. You can have a cornerback play safety, and you can have a safety play cornerback. We've seen it. We've seen Devin McCourty play cornerback, move to safety. We've even seen last year him play safety and play cornerback. We've seen Miles Bryant come in as a cornerback and play safety. So it really, if you're in the secondary, you can play really anywhere. D'Amico Helms is a guy that I do like as a later round pick for the Patriots. As you can see, a really great run defender and kind of just an average coverage guy, as where with the last safety we took in Skinner, I believe, he was a decent run defender. It was about average to a little bit below average, but an absolute boss as a coverage safety. And that's kind of where you're getting the opposite here. But again, another Alabama guy. Shouldn't surprise you at all for them to get one. He doesn't miss tackles, though. That's a good thing about him. He also has a really good forced incompletion rate, 17.5%, only a 10% missed tackle rate. This is a great guy that in the 6th round, you're kind of just looking as a developmental piece there. I really like for the Patriots to double dip in the secondary, especially after not taking a corner. And this should be our last pick here in the 7th round. Or excuse me, I guess we have another 6th round. I thought that was our 3rd 6th round. I guess that was only our 2nd. So we have 2 picks left. Jake Bobo. I am okay with this pick here. I am okay with drafting a receiver here. And the fact that Jake Bobo falls into our laps is exactly what we wanted right here. You guys thought that I wasn't going to take a wide receiver, and I came out and I surprised you. I like Jake Bobo here for the Patriots. Yards per route run, just over average here. 6'5", 215 pounds. You're getting your true outside tall receiver. The Patriots do potentially need a slot receiver, which is kind of where I would have liked to look at the most here. But Jacoby didn't just play the slot; he played outside at times too. And I just really like Jake Bobo. The problem with Patriots receivers, especially throughout the past, has been that they haven't been good at getting open against man coverage. And a lot of the NFL these days, especially good secondaries, are playing a lot of man coverage. And Jake Bobo is a guy who excels against playing in man coverage. You can tell, even especially with that size, he's going to do very good at playing man-to-man. And, you know, his man-to-man grade here in coverage, well above average, 79.1. Drop rate, a little above average there. 6.6, not bad. Contested catch rate, very good from a 6'5" receiver, as you would probably assume. 59.1. This is a guy, like I said, he's gotten better each and every single year, and it's the 6th round. This is your final 6th round pick. Like, you're kind of taking a flyer on him here. You can even see too that his receiving yards per reception here, 14.3 this past year, 10.7 the year prior, and 11.2 the year prior. Also had 7 touchdowns this past year. If this guy pans out for the Patriots could, one, trade or release Devontae Parker, and that would free them up about $6 to $7 million. Devontae Parker is no lock to make the roster. If the Patriots do want to free up some money, the Patriots get Jake Bobo here, a guy who can really just take over that exact role. And if things pan out well, the Patriots can free up $6 to $7 million by getting rid of Devontae Parker there. So I like Jake Bobo here. And then this should be our final pick in the 7th. Knowing the Patriots, they'll probably go like offensive guard or some offensive lineman position. They just always do this. Or defensive lineman. Actually, no. You know what? With the future of Jake Bailey not being known, obviously he took the Patriots to court. Where is punter? I know they added special teams. That's linebacker. We want special teams here. There we go. In the 7th round here, with things not going very well with Jake Bailey, obviously took the Patriots to court. He feels that he shouldn't have been placed on IR. There were disputes on, Patriots placing him on IR to end the year versus him thinking that he was going to come back and should be back. And for some reason, this is glitching again. Come on, guys. Come on, PFF. For the Patriots get their new punter here, they get him on a rookie contract. They'll also save a few $1,000,000 here by getting a new punter out of Michigan State, Bryce Behringer. This is a guy that has been just booming it at the Senior Bowl. He was looking really good. I'm excited to see what he can actually do at the combine. But I like him. I like him for the Patriots. I like him as an overall next option for New England when it comes to punter, because they had a massive problem with punter last year. And really, Jake Bailey had one good season with the Patriots, had a pretty good season his rookie year too. And then other than that has absolutely fell off. So I think them getting a punter, whether that's a UDFA or even drafting one here a little bit later on from rounds, 6 to 7, maybe even 5 if they want to trade into it, is a real possibility here. And Patriots get to move on from Jake Bailey. They get to move on from this whole situation. They save a little bit of money here, get their new guy, and that's your New England Patriots 2023 draft class. And I'm sure that they're going to hate it. Don't listen to PFF and essentially how they grade your draft. Just because they say it's an A doesn't mean it's actually an A. Just because they say it's an F doesn't mean it's actually an F. And I'm sure they're not going to like some of these picks here. B+ here for Broderick Jones. A here for DeJuan Jones. Patriots have way too much Jones. They have one at right tackle, one at left tackle, and one behind center. My goodness, they don't love JL Skinner giving us a C-. B- here with Zach Harrison. Henry Toto, I didn't think that they would like that one. They gave us an F for where we drafted Josh Weil. I think that's absolutely absurd. Kenny McClintish here in the 6th round. Really like that. Ricky Stromberg, they didn't like that there for us in the 6th. I don't know how you couldn't. And they overall gave us a B-. I think it's better than a B-. I'd probably give this like a B+, in my own opinion. Maybe even an A-. I don't know. What would you guys grade this, though, for the Patriots? I do kind of want to go over my just thoughts overall here, just to kind of clear up any questions that I think you guys might have. Patriots Global, you went back-to-back tackle. Why did you do that? I said this in the video. I'll say it again. You go back-to-back tackles here. You get guys that really are both, to me, first-round picks. And DeJuan Jones very well could rise up and not be a first-round pick after the combine. We'll just have to see. But if the Patriots are able to get him here, I think that is an absolute steal for them. You get your right tackle in DeJuan Jones. You get your left tackle in Broderick Jones. Both, I think, are going to be very, very good at the NFL level. Then also you don't have to go out and spend, $10+ million here on a starting right tackle. And you can save that money, place it towards getting a true wide receiver 1 or getting a true CB1 here for the Patriots. So I actually really like that. And now your offensive line is completely set up at 2 of the most important positions in football, at the tackle position. JL Skinner, we missed on Jordan Battle there a few picks before going to the Raiders with Josh McDaniels, but this is another guy that has experience playing deep. He can play. He has the instincts. He has the ball vision and the tackling ability to be a free safety and play deep. Some issues there as an overall run defender, but still nonetheless a very good pick there for the Patriots as they look post Devin McCourty and just need safety help in general. Zach Harrison, the Patriots get an edge defender. They look at their their post Josh Uche, potentially edge rusher, guy who's really good at pass rushing, but also stopping the run. Very good overall edge defender. And I'm hearing the Patriots could go fairly high with an edge defender, so it makes a lot of sense. Henry To'oTo'o, I know some people might not like this. Some people might. I think he's a top 10 linebacker in this class, obviously further down that top 10 list. But you're here in the 4th round. What exactly are you expecting? The Patriots get from Alabama, of course, they get their ideal linebacker. They get a guy who might not be great in coverage, but has the ability to still play in coverage and do it at a fair level, but is mainly going to be a run defender, and that's exactly what they like there. The Patriots also get a developmental tight end, in which I think they'll potentially need. You have Hunter Henry in a contract year. Things have not panned out well for Jonnu Smith whatsoever. They got a guy that can come in, be a rotational piece for them, be a depth piece for them, and hey, if things go well, maybe you find a way at the end of the season to, or maybe before the trade deadline, to get rid of Jonnu. Kenny McClintish here. The Patriots need a guy in case Damian Harris does leave, and they need a guy who's going to be able to be a rotational running back for them. I don't think that guy is Kevin Harris. I don't love Kevin Harris. I'm not against him. I just don't love him. I think Kenny McClintish would come in and easily take that spot from him. And your third down back there, obviously, in Pierre Strong. Ricky Stromberg just comes in and essentially is going to be your replacement there for David Andrews one day. DeMarco Helms, excuse me. Patriots double dip there at safety. I just like the potential. Again, Alabama, can't go wrong. Jake Bobo, love this pick. In the 6th round, 210 overall, you cannot complain whatsoever with the value that the Patriots are getting there with Jake Bobo. And the Patriots here with their final pick take a punter. Again, it's a 7th round pick. It's your last final pick here again, then 7th round. Can't get mad at it. The Patriots get a punter. And let me tell you, at this point, anything has to be better than what we've seen over the last 2 years. And punter can go a long way. So I'm really, really excited about this draft class overall for the Patriots. But Pats Nation, what are your thoughts on this draft? The first few picks were a little bit tough there, but we rode through it, especially there within the 2nd round. Was a little bit tough for me to go there, double dip at tackle. But like I said, guys, mock drafts are an exercise, and this was a way too early mock draft. Once we get better ideas on these guys, official positions on the Patriots draft picks, and just kind of doing more due diligence on these guys as things come out, we'll do more. It'll be more realistic. But this was my way too early Patriots mock draft. What are your guys' thoughts? Let me know in the comment section below. Remember to leave a big like on this video and subscribe to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news. But like always, go Pats.